All right. She marches out. Wake up, Laurel, kid. You there?
There's the sound of disappointed teenager noises.
It's time for training.
There's the sound of more disappointed teenager noises.
Would you like to train before or after I the door down?
Watch the little Arl figure pop up. Oh, okay.
He opens the door. He looks like he's 2 seconds away from stabbing something. Doesn't know if it's going to be a human being or not, but I'm awake.
Right. Now, one more that we need to get. She quickly goes over. Grace.
Grace was already on the way towards the door and opens it. Hey, Doc, are we trading?
Yeah. Do we have to get more people? I think I heard. And she just starts messaging down. She's too tired. Training. Whoever. Just covering
Madeline
her
probably
bases.
gets hit with one of the pings. The word training pops into her mind.
Huh? She never had it's either she's never had a mental ping before or it hasn't happened in a while. She's confused and thought someone's talking to her. So she's leaving her room to figure out what's going on. Okay, I'm getting her all the way up. The map is huge.
Incredible.
Madeline just kind of peers around the corner and gives a confused look to Doc.
We're training, and hopefully enough people show up before too long.
Madeline looks surprised. What kind?
Ether.
Madeline looks clearly excited and she hops on over.
I would assume that
should
Jane also shows up.
I was about to say, should I grab Jane? Oh, there she is.
Training?
Ether training!
You see all starts walking down the hall towards the group.
Both of you, mind your voices. Yes, training.
Oh, sorry. And she looks very embarrassed.
My apologies. We were just very excited.
Madeline nods.
Yes, I understand that. Good for your enthusiasm.
And then this Fate just comes out of a portal that opens up.
Yeah. Madeline sees Fate and gives her a little wave.
Oh. Well, hello there, everyone. I guess it is a bigger group than I expected this time.
Oh, is it okay that I come? I mean, I don't know.
Anyone can learn either. Anyone who is interested, of course, and has the ability to, well, cast.
Madeline thinks about it. She's like, okay. Well, thank you. And she's turning pink.
All right. So, is this everyone? She looks to Doc.
It better be. If it's not, then, well, I guess they missed their window. And she draws the door.
2 fates to me. We go.
Roll or no?
Go ahead and roll.
Are you thinking about the
Just for
possibility
fun.
of just a tiny little envelope size?
Okay. It's okay. Upon seeing this door, she makes it seem like Doc opened it wider. Because it's nice.
I love Fate.
My wielder's so good.
Doc, in her mind, is like, thanks. But externally, just facepalm. Just get in.
Just get in.
Yeah.
Face just trying not to say anything.
I'm sure Madeline and Jane very happily hop on through.
Ecstatic.
Ecstatic indeed.
Really funny idea.
Oh.
So you know how you can make dummies, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking, what if I had everyone make their dummy someone they really want to hit? And
Everyone
so
makes Orange
everyone
Schultz.
just has a dummy that looks like
That'd be hilarious.
Tinker's gonna raise up his glove and be like, I summoned the One Stream Reborn. Did I get that right?
Close
I
enough.
hope. Okay. Once Lost Stream Reborn? I don't know. Someday I will memorize this.
Braun's wraith form appears once more before quickly washing away to reveal human Braun.
Oh!
It's a sprite for human Braun! Madeline does see the transformation and is surprised, just staring like, what the heck?
Tinker's gonna also reach out to Zal.
OMG.
So I was like, alright, I'll watch.
Here, suddenly.
Giant
Oh
Zal.
my god!
Wait,
Oh, that was
That's
something
Zal?
else!
Madeline just asked, how?
We're in the ether plane. OMG, I'm gonna need to charge my poor battery. It seems to be that I'm dying. This is quite unfortunate.
Damn it, Acacius.
Acacius, how could you? Well, now that it seems that we're all here, for real this time, she looks at Braun and Zal. Now then, I suppose the first thing we shall do is, have a target. Because we will do the first basics, which is actually conjuring some ether together to make an ether bolt. For those who are familiar with casting, ether bolt is rather similar in the mechanics of firebolt. Only it's only different because it's ether, which is something that is the raw energy of magic. Presently, we're in a place that is full of ether. It is my domain, in which it should make it easier for you all to draw some ether to you and manipulate it to your will. Now then. She's going to extend a hand and basically just wave in front of her, and just a lineup of various dummies appear. And they seem to shift and morphed into familiar forms. Mostly those who are disliked by most of the party. So there's probably a couple Jorn Schultz.
Oh, totally.
Is there a Landgrave dummy?
Yeah, there could be a
hell
Landgrave
yeah.
dummy.
For Braun, do you hate Landgrave more than you hate Kay, Braun?
It's not hate, it's just, you know, for fun.
Let's see, where art thou?
Tinker's taking a Schultz, I'm just saying.
Okay. Does Oral want a Vogel? I know he
No.
hates Vogel.
He wants either Vogel or Daisy.
Okay.
Ooh, Daisy.
I'm just gonna have Wraith Daisy, because I don't want to look for her other sprite.
As soon as
Very
the Wraith
nice.
Daisy appears, Oral immediately walks up and tries to stab it.
Oral.
Sorry, that's force of habit.
I don't know who
Try
Grace was.
casting Ether Bolt from your ninth spot.
I don't blame him.
Right, yep.
I love seeing their story,
There's too many Jorn Schultzes here.
Actually, I think I'm gonna take one over here that's further away from people.
Kid's got initiative, I'll give him that. Braun chuckles.
I don't know who Grace wants to summon.
Yourself.
Cardus.
That's honestly
Grace
that came to
summons
mind. I
Cardus.
was like, if Grace wants to shoot someone, she'd probably make herself. Oh god.
You know, we're gonna because we're thinking about
we were thinking about Tealtrid and how he kept taking her everywhere. You know, it's not like she hates him. It's just like, oh, I'm really peeved. You know.
Mhm.
So there we go.
Amazing.
I like how there's just 2 Schultz right here. There you go, Tinker. You get 2 whole Schultz.
Okay, fine.
Um,
I'm gonna have fun with that, just so you know.
and since Doc has already mastered this part, she's not gonna have Doc do this. Doesn't want to. I mean, if she wants to hit Yorn in the face, she's more than welcome. But Crystal's not here at the moment, so I'm not worried about it.
All right.
Lucille's just silently joining in.
Taking a Yorn Schultz. A part of me is just like, you know, I should have expected this.
All right. So, everyone begin to try and focus on the environment around you. You will be drawing the energy that you sense, that you can feel, and you'll be gathering it to one certain point in front of you, and then launching it at your dummy.
Everyone roll Arcana check.
Oh, fun. All right, let us see what.
So I'll go in order from what I see. So Oral spots the daisy and with maybe a little bit of volition backing, who knows, maybe a little bit of spite, very quickly conjures the sort of energy around his hand as he unleashes a bolt of raw ether straight into the daisy dummy with pretty good accuracy and force for what little practice he's actually had.
Very good, Oral.
Nods like hell yeah.
And then from Madeline, just sort of figuring things out as she goes. Seems like some of the innate experience with the soul in quotation maybe gives her a slight knack for this, as she managed to do similarly to Oral, with a little bit less force, probably because she has not the same amount of spite that perhaps Oral has for Daisy. Who
Oh,
knows?
and yeah, and she's normally non-combative anyways,
Mhm.
so that kind of ties in.
And manages to fire a decent bolt straight into you and Schultz. Tinker.
That was wonderful form, Madeline.
Madeline nods and claps a little. Thank you.
Tinker, with his existing knowledge in Arcana, seems to figure his way around the way to weave such ether. As he fires also a decent bolt.
That was also well done. I'm very pleased to see all your results. Now this time,
Wait, Braun.
Oh, Braun tries to conjure his ether bolt, but only results in mere sparks. He tries again multiple times, but to no avail. Ah, vai, he says, before charging the dummy and tackling it. He goes to town and snaring it in a chokehold.
Kind of want Ashel Langriff to just walk in right now.
well, it was a good attempt, Braun.
Zal just like
How's-
glances over.
I'm better fighting like this anyway, he calls over.
Then perhaps a different way of handling the ether will be more to your taste.
Wow. Wow.
Poor Zal.
Okay.
That's terrible. If it can make me stronger, I'll be down for that, says Braun.
Wonderful. Then I will give you some advice on that a little bit later once I get everyone else back to...
She pauses, seeing Zal's poor excuse of a ether bolt. He's tried his best.
He sighs.
I think you can do it again, and you'll manage to do just fine.
Alright. And then he, yeah. I got 24.
Oh, lots better.
It was just a little extra, isn't it?
Might just because I have a bit of a hard time seeing with one eye.
Yes, I imagine that can be a little bit more challenging, I suppose.
She probably finger guns an Ether Bolt, to be honest.
Oh, what a girl!
So,
Very-
uh,
Very
Bye-bye.
good, Grace.
she gets a thumbs up.
So, you all seem to have the drawing mechanics very naturally done. So now I want you to be a little bit more creative with your ether bolts. Try and reshape them into something different. And then throw it. It can be a different kind of shape, or it could literally just be a different element.
Does it have to be a strict projectile?
Well, technically it is an ether bolt, but you are able to manipulate ether to take on a different form, yes. Much like a weapon.
All right.
You may do whatever you have a preference for, but I suggest trying to get so long as you get the idea of adjusting the shapes and how it works, and just exercising that, then that'll be fine.
All right. Madeline wants to try to either make whatever projectile comes out of her hand look like a vine to either stab through or grab the training dummy and somehow. Maybe a little ambitious, but she wants to try making it work like a vine.
To go with that Arcana check, also make a nature check for me.
Gotcha. Da-da-da. Luckily, I have +7 on nature as well.
As she's attempting to form this new kind of sort of spell, or essentially inventing a spell from scratch, she managed to form a sort of glassy vine whip sort of material, which it begins to form more realistically, though not quite. It sort of has a strange glow to it. But she does manage to strike with it, which seems like it decently works, though it seems sort of fragile as it seems to sort of break on impact.
Different from my normal vines. Okay.
That was very well done, though. Very creative.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad.
If you can master that doing just one, perhaps you can try and doing multiple at the same time.
Madeline looks a lot excited at the idea and nods.
Oral's basically, because he's so fucking cool.
Heck yeah.
He's going to try and manipulate the ether to be like a nice knife.
Ether knife.
And-
Cool.
Ether
It's
knife.
Flipping like Kara. Character.
Just- Throw a knife
Arl
and
is
have it
caricature.
explode in ether.
Exploding knife. Okay, go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
That's terrible, but alright.
And then go ahead and make a dexterity check with proficiency.
How did I get 2 6s in a row?
Rip.
Alright, so Oral sort of vaguely creates sort of the silhouette of a knife out of ether, though it seems much too fragile, though he is able to have it launched with decent accuracy at Daisy.
If you want to do more with knives, you may want to look more into what a knife is made of and how it's made.
He stares down because he never thought about that before. He just kind of used knives and didn't worry about how they worked.
A blade is more than just something to cut. there's value into knowing how it cuts.
Yeah, I guess so.
So, until then, how about you try and do something that's similarly sharp?
He's just gonna try with a straight up, like, ice shard.
Since he's already sort of tangentially familiar with making ice, just sort of experience, I guess his experience in Walker's Hole as well. I mean, he makes a pretty sharp, just like, splinter of ice in his hand.
Very good.
Throws it at Daisy.
I'm just gonna say that it hits. So.
He doesn't really care if it does hit or not. He just wanted to.
Keep practicing with that and perhaps try and do multiple.
He smiles like, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Multiple.
Actually, we'll do Tinker last.
Okay.
So I'll do. Actually, I never bothered to check how Lucille did since he's here, so I'm just gonna.
Mm-hmm.
Lucille just like cuts himself and his blood shoots out.
Oh, rip.
Honestly, that would be pretty deadly.
Yeah.
Either has blood? Heck yeah.
Alright, Lucille's doing fine with ether bolts.
Braun grunts as he lifts the dummy, suplexing it. His laughter spreads throughout the domain.
At least he's having fun.
Madeline giggles.
Ether's like, not Ether. Oral. What the fuck am I on? It's because Ether playing.
Yeah, I know.
Oral's like, I like that guy. He's got my vibe.
Lucille probably actually does manage to condense his blood into an ether bolt. You'll
That'd be
notice
cool.
that when he fires it, it's actually a black bolt of ether.
Very good, Lucille. I imagine that you are quite used to using your blood as a means to defend yourself.
Yes. Very much so.
Well, perhaps you can find a way to use less of the blood and have more of the projectile itself. Just a drop of blood combined with some ether makes it a powerful weapon indeed.
He attempts to do so, which I'll say the second roll there is for that, so. He does okay. It's not quite as intense as before, but
Mm-hmm.
he makes it work. Still, for the most part, just an ether bolt. He didn't try anything too fancy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Zal probably just whips out a rifle from thin air and fires a bolt of ether through that. Or he's gonna try to.
Nice.
Nice. Everyone else, Shapey did the cool things. Zal, gun.
Gun.
That's what Grace is gonna be like too. You're just like,
Pokemon gun.
Pokemon gun. You're so right.
Grace. Yeah, she's gonna. Seeing Zal use his gun, she's gonna pull out her revolver and do something similar.
You'll have unlimited ammo this way.
Zal and Grace.
Thumbs up from Grace. Zal just called back, like, alright, that's useful.
Of course, this is just to get you familiar with actual shaping. Once we're back in the real world, you'll have to see if you can draw it just as efficiently.
Or it looks like he has an idea.
Alright. Tinker?
Now Tinker's
Tinker is going to try and summon a pair of hands, which I guess, knowing him and not understanding human biology, he would just go with Warforged hands, because he knows exactly how those work.
Nice.
Makes sense. Alright, Tinker, give me your Arcana roll.
Okay.
As Tinker is attempting to create these Warforged hands, he's thinking through his mind the very complex mechanisms and his understanding. However, it seems cloudy, distracted. As the hands form, they sort of distort and begin to sort of crumble a bit.
Tinker's like grunting as he sees it. You know what? I don't need Ether to kill this guy. And he pulls his shotgun off his back and just starts blasting one of the dummies repeatedly.
Oh my god.
Oh, jeez.
So anyway, started blasting.
Anyway, I started blasting.
Fate just kind of, and this is her domain, so she just kind of appears behind him. Tinker,
He does not seem to notice her.
Tinker, and she places a hand on his shoulder.
What?
This is for ether training, is it not?
I guess.
Would you rather if I changed the dummy?
No, I'll figure this out. I guess.
It'll inspire you if you watch some of your friends try.
Fine, I'll watch.
Oral, are you alright if he watches you do some of your ether casting?
He nods.
She dismisses those Jorn Schultz for the time being.
They're like completely like deformed and like.
They melt back into the floor. They just disperse. They shatter. And so while everyone else is still practicing, she goes over to Braun.
Oh, yeah. Look.
But yeah, you guys can probably do, I imagine, some rolls to practice. But we'll get detail into it after I talk to Braun. So is he still entangled? Okay, yeah. Cool.
Ron gets up from the floor, dusting himself off. Phew, had to get that out of my system.
I'm pleased that you managed to. Now, about how to use ether, there's more ways than just to use an ether bolt. And I believe my researcher would actually be very helpful in this scenario. Would you be alright with a new teacher?
Braun raises a brow. I'm listening.
Well, you see, Elemis is actually rather familiar with using ether to enhance his own strength. I believe he'll be able to help you as well. That way you can also use ether, as it is rather useful.
Though I had something else in mind, Braun says. He observes everyone experimenting with their offensive attacks. Braun decides to try the contrary. Calling upon his experience with defensive maneuvers, he tries to form a dome of ether shield, blocking damage from every angle.
What's the highest level spell slot that Braun has, Joseph?
Yes.
5th, you said?
Yep.
I can't believe actually. Okay. Do you remember so on the chart, Anna, for each
Yeah, no, I'm
area,
looking at it.
the dome modification is
gosh,
exactly
that's
5th level.
Okay, wow. You're so lucky, Justin.
Lucky, what can I say?
God. It would. Okay, Braun maybe doesn't realize it here because here you have infinite slots, but it would use his 5th level spell slot to do this typically.
Yep, I figured.
As he managed to create a 10-foot radius dome of ether around himself.
Fate, it appears back.
Well done.
Go on, hit
Kyle's
me!
angry
He shouts from
walking right
within
now.
the shield, the dome.
Lee, would you mind hitting him?
Lee just nods, walks over to the dome, takes out his greatsword and just swings straight into the dome. Lee swings his greatsword at the dome twice. You see him put like 2 cracks into the dome, however. It does not break.
Very good.
Braun keeps his arms outstretched, focusing on preserving the integrity of the dome. Aha! Got it pretty strong, eh?
Yes, though I'm certain that with practice you can make it even stronger.
Braun nods and beams to Fate.
So if you are interested, though, in actually using ether as more of an offensive spell, I could ask Elemis for you.
I'll
Well,
keep
just-
it in mind, though. Swords are more my style.
Fair enough. Though, either can also enhance a weapon.
Ha! Magic and their thing to do everything.
Well, that is why that handle of a sword Elemis can use is actually capable of damage.
So basically, once that's done, seeing as Braun is just going to be doing his own thing, she is just overseeing everyone else's as I'm looking at their roles. Madeline seems to
Yeah.
be struggling with having to try to do more than one vine at a time,
Yep.
as the vines themselves seem to like shatter when she tries to use them as like a sword whip.
It's like glass. Why?
Also, honestly, depending on how much she does it, the shattering might sound a little bit like
Oh my
That.
gosh.
Are you familiar with the structure of a vine?
Madeline nods.
Then I believe it's because of their focus of of the quantity over the quality. Try and just do 2.
Right, and because she had been trying to kind of encase the dummy in vines, and that was a bit too much. Just 2. Okay. Should I do another roll, or moving on to someone
Yeah, you
else?
can go ahead.
Yeah.
And while she's working on that, she's going over to
Okay.
see everyone else's. She also was looking at Jane and Lucille's progress while she was overseeing Madeline.
Jane and Lucille
Yeah.
probably doing just fine. I don't know exactly how creative Jane's getting. I'll probably ask Crystal. When she
Yeah, well,
comes
we'll see. We'll see when Crystal.
Yeah.
back. I don't
we'll
imagine
definitely see.
Lucille to be too creative with it.
Zal and Grace and their guns. Anyways, Oral, what's going on? What is Tinker seeing?
Oral's not doing the ice shards this time.
Ooh.
He got an idea. He pulls out his bow
Ooh.
and Genshin Impact style starts charging it with ether energy.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
To
Okay.
shoot into Daisy.
And it was a good roll when you
It
did
was a
Nice.
21.
I know
All
what
right.
skill tree Oral's going into now.
Oh my gosh. Hold on.
Go.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So as he's drawing the arrow back, and the ether is being like kind of sucked in, it's almost like almost like it's like a black hole in a way. You know how it's getting sucked in and conjuring up into this mass of ether at the arrow point. And then there's a point where like it'll stop and it'll just be like this manifestation of ether. So you can shoot.
He's shooting.
Arrow releases and it streaks lightning fast straight through Daisy.
She looks over at Tinker to see his reaction to this.
Oral's also looking over at Tinker like, did I do good?
Tinker's just clenching his fists and staring at Daisy.
Tinker?
Yes.
Did I do good?
Yeah, that's great. That would definitely work in combat.
Oh, right.
Tinker, would you like to make an attempt?
Sure. Tinker's going to try. I guess he's going to try and conjure an ether knife.
All right, roll an Arcana check.
Braun, ever vigilant, jogs over to Tinker. Oi, what's up? You ain't beating up a dummy like the rest.
Tinker just immediately tries to summon the knife right after Braun says that, I guess.
Yeah, and as soon as I said, that basically breaks his concentration as the knife shatters.
Oh, sorry about that.
I don't need a. It's fine. I don't need an ether weapon to kill Daisy or Yorn or any of the rest of them.
Tinker, it's not about the weapon itself. It's about practicing with ether. You may not use it as a weapon, but you need to practice.
I know. I need to become as good with it as. Freaking. Wow.
Here, let's try something different. I know that what you wanted with me is not the weapon side of things. It's for enchanting, right?
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Then, how about I'll leave my wielder to help everyone here, and then you and I can go back to the ship, and I can show you how it's done.
Okay.
Braun follows the two.
Zal kind of has to
Yeah,
follow
Zal
too.
would have to as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guess I'm going.
Madeline does notice people leaving and looks worried, but then just goes back to what she was doing.
She stares at Tinker like, oh, okay.
So, hold on. I need to find something different. Whoop! We're just gonna use that for now.
Alright, everyone, I'm going to be leaving my wielder in charge for this session, for the time being. I need to focus on helping Tinker with something else.
Good luck, Tinker.
Tinker kind of just nods, sort of.
Grace is actually gonna look over and say, can I join too?
Of course. Oral, will you be alright?
He nods and just continues practicing.
Keep it up. You're doing a wonderful job.
And with that, she opens basically a portal back to the ship. So back at the ship, they reappear. Woohoo! And Fate, just gestures for Tinker to follow as she walks. Tinker and the others, basically. As she heads over to this table. Hi, Thadakar. How's it going? How is it going?
I was probably busy talking to soldiers,
Yeah.
being a captain and all.
Alright. So I have seen that you are able to conjure and shape either. But now I want you both to try and draw either to you from in this plane. It doesn't have to be anything in particular, just whatever comes to mind.
Tinker's going to try, sort of, but his mind is clearly elsewhere.
Let's see, what vaguely would he be trying to make? It's not gonna succeed.
Oh.
But,
From the description, he was just trying to make like a very simple ball of ether.
okay.
You can make a shield like me, offers Braun, at your own pace, of course.
I don't think he can make a shield like you. He can't do 5th level spells. And he never will be able to.
As Tinker attempts to form a ball of ether, a sort of speck of light sort of glitters faintly in front of him, but very quickly just fizzes out. Grace tries to make something similar to Tinker, a sort of speck of light appears for a moment before sort of disappearing. Her eyes do flicker blue when she does this, though, but that's about it.
Both are a little distracted, aren't you?
I'll get this working. I have to.
Why do you have to?
Because Sute could do it, and clearly Mitsu probably could as well, from what I could tell.
Sute could.
Yeah?
I don't understand. Why does it matter what they are able to do?
Because you said like, someone has to manage to do whatever they were supposed to do. So right now, that's up to me.
You're not the only one.
Well, everyone else either already has another role to play, or is like, regardless, I'm unfortunately the wielder of harmony now. So that means I need to do whatever Mitsu was supposed to be able to do, because clearly she wasn't supposed to die, as you brought up.
Unfortunately.
So very clearly, I need to manage.
No, I'm asking why unfortunately?
Why, unfortunately, what?
Why are you unfortunately the wielder of harmony?
Because I'm a terrible choice. And regardless, I wouldn't have been if things had gone better.
Who says that you are not a good wielder of harmony?
Well,
Is
land's great for
Mitsu
starters, but
is Mitsu a good wielder of harmony?
no, the Harmony's terrible at picking wielders from what I can tell.
I suppose it is a good idea to blame the shrine instead of the wielder.
Look, I will do what I can, but there's only quite frankly, as a shrine, there's one job, and that is to pick the wielder.
Picking a wielder is a choice. We want someone. It's not a need.
Yeah, well, Mitsu proceeded to kill an entire city with the power of harmony, so, you know.
She wasn't originally like that, though.
Well, I have no idea what she was like, so maybe she was a good wielder. I don't know.
Then why aren't you a good wielder?
Tinker kind of throws up his hands in frustration. A wielder should... The whole point of a wielder is supposed to be that they have a strong knowledge and feeling of what they want to do for the world with their shrine aspect, so to speak. But I still barely even understand myself. Never mind saying that what I feel is good enough to try and impose on others.
I don't know why Harmony chose you. And I imagine that Harmony won't be able to tell you either. Because Harmony can't.
I'm grateful for that.
But don't you want to know why?
Not particularly. I very much disagree with it.
I see. My wielder also disagrees with it. You two had a nice long chat. I could tell you two both could have had a lot on your minds.
Yeah, well... that was not what I was hoping to talk about, but that's what happened. So, here we are.
The way the pathways change, huh?
Braun steps closer to Tinker. He drapes his cape over him, to which it feels warm.
Tinker kind of just withdraws into his seat and under the cape. Yeah, well... I already can see my path, so it's... I'm going to go down the exact same path as Mitsu, and I don't think there's a thing I can do to stop it, so... Like, I'm already mostly there.
Well, first off, let's see. Are you a wraith?
Possibly. I'm still a little unsure on that one.
Oh, I see. Yes, it must be very difficult to know for sure. To determine a wraith is quite difficult.
Oh my god, wait, that's sarcasm.
Grace looks up at Fate like, oh.
As after all, I also am a wraith.
Yeah, see, I would have guessed that.
Because a wraith is not what you think it means.
Well, a wraith is simply one of the ways a soul can be expressed. So as I have a soul, it should theoretically be possible for me to also become be or become a wraith. I'm just not entirely certain on if I am currently or not.
A wraith is a piece of the soul. It's not complete.
Well, I have no idea if my soul's complete or not, considering it was probably made piecemeal from a bunch of other people's memories.
Then you're living a life for them.
That's a terrible thought.
Is it? It means a second chance. It means having memories that need to be protected. These are the memories that you may hold. They're in you and nowhere else.
I'm pretty sure they're all in the Echoes of Recollection.
Then why didn't we find memories of Grace?
Well, do you want my guess on that? Because I'm pretty sure that
Tinker,
the wielder of
I don't
Veils
want
was
your
wrong.
guess. I'm just asking you to understand.
Understand what?
You are not Mitsu. And you aren't going to become her.
I already... she's completely consumed by her emotions, and so am I. And on top of that...
But you're
she's-
aware. And you're trying to stop it, aren't you?
Yeah, well, that kind of has gone out the window lately, considering I've crossed nearly every line I said I wouldn't cross in the past month.
You've been through a lot, Tinker. You can't blame yourself. First off, you're carrying 2 stowaways, which makes you feel responsible for 2 more people.
I'm aware.
And then on top of that, you became the Shrine of Harmony's wielder. Not to mention you lost a friend. And
Lost
following that,
far more than one friend.
they're all friends, yes. I'm just saying, the way you're reacting right now, it's not like Mitsu.
Me
You're
too.
reacting to everything that just happened to you. It's a lot to collect.
It's not just that. Mitsu's was quite literally in the end, but metaphorically, tied up in her own chains and exactly like I am. She's promised, from what I can tell, she promised herself to her goals to the point where she couldn't make any further choices, and I'm in the exact same boat.
You're stuck.
Yes, I have completely trapped myself on this path, but it is the path I chose, so here we are.
Your path has actually changed quite a lot. And it continues to change. At this point, it's hard for me to predict you sometimes. You've grown, Tinker, whether you believe it or not.
I'm well aware I've changed. A lot. I just don't know if I like who I'm becoming.
What is it that you want to become?
I don't have the slightest clue.
Well, let's think about what you enjoy. What have you liked about your journey so far, if anything?
Tinker's just like, it looks down trying to think, but he's kind of struggling at the moment.
What I've seen, you originally weren't so keen with having company.
I probably should have pressed that harder, yes.
But now that you have it, you're afraid of losing it.
I mean, I wouldn't say afraid. It's guaranteed to happen sooner or later.
afraid of when the inevitable happens then. The fear is the same.
I guess. I mean,
But you
I don't
enjoy
think
it.
that's- Do I enjoy being around people?
Well, not just any people.
I don't. Maybe I don't even know anymore. I was at one point.
If they were in danger, what would you do?
I would try and help them, of course.
And if they tried to push you away, what would you do?
I'd probably respect that. Let them go.
You've done it before.
Yes.
And how has that turned out for you?
Well, given what I've been able to get out there, probably for the best.
I'm asking you, Tinker.
It's not my place to impose my own will on other people.
But do you regret it? You
don't
can be
think I
selfish.
regret.
Tinker, you can be selfish. I'm not asking you for the well-being of the world or of that person. I'm asking for you. And it's okay to be selfish.
I don't regret leaving Zornstead.
Do you regret letting them go?
I guess, maybe. Although, at this point, again, it was probably for the best.
Do you think it was for the best for you or for them? I'm just trying to understand your line of logic.
I'm thinking I'm not sure.
It's okay.
Both, I suppose? I don't know.
They're all really hard questions. And there's no right answers, I just wanted to ask.
I just... like... Okay, I do love my friends, I do, but all of them are so... like, Davey, this whole time, apparently he was holding back in every fight we had. Not to mention, he could have easily warned us about Schultz or Vogel from the sounds of it, or probably a whole bunch of other things that I don't even know what he knew. Twig spent half her time getting us into trouble or nearly getting us killed, and don't even know if she regretted leaving. Galen just took off. So did Neil, and Oral half the time can't even see past his own hand, no face, whatever. So centered on what his own problems.
It is very frustrating, especially when those don't talk. That's why it's hard to say is so frustrating to most.
Honestly, that's probably the least frustrating thing going on lately. At least I understand there's a reason for that.
Think of the times when people don't speak or can't speak. They're pretty much the same thing. Because you don't know if they would even tell you, even if they weren't restricted. I understand that you're upset, and I can't change anything for that.
Well, maybe they can't talk, but they could ask.
About you.
Yes.
You want them to try to understand you, because they never asked.
Galen claims to be a mystery and yet has made how many speeches about himself? And yet, anytime I tried to talk to him, it's the same with everyone else.
They talk about themselves.
Yeah. And I can't. Of course.
I think that I would like to get to know you. It's just a little harder being a shrine. If you don't mind.
Yeah, I can imagine so.
But I think you and I are not so different.
Perhaps not.
But I would rather not get to know Tinker, but rather you. If you don't mind.
Not entirely sure who that is these days.
Maybe we can figure that out together then. What do you say, Grace?
Grace gives a thumbs up and says, "Well, I actually came here because I wanted to learn more about you too, because I'm responsible for your creation."
Yeah, I kind of figured that out a while ago, but I kind of also thought you'd forgotten.
I did, but that doesn't mean I don't know.
Okay, how do you know?
I remember some things when I'm near you.
Huh. That's with what Doc said. Well, I guess we really do need to talk then.
Do you want to talk?
I think so.
Do you want to get to know Grace as she wants to get to know you?
Yes. I mean, I've been trying to figure out Grace, but I suppose it might be easiest just to go to the source.
I've been trying to figure out Grace too.
You two can help each other
Yeah.
get to know who not Tinker is and not Grace is.
Yeah. I hope so.
And if I could tag along as well, though it's not as fate. I am Monica in this one.
Glad to finally officially meet you, Monica.
Well then. Are we really wanting to learn right now, or do we want a break?
I think I really need a break.
As I thought. Well, it seems our ship has taken flight now. I suppose you have all the time in the world to just do what you've been wanting to do, uninterrupted.
Tinker nods.
I can imagine Grace would rather like to watch.
Grace nods.
Well, for now, I think, how about we take a look at the music box together?
Oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Then you two have fun. Or, as well as you can.
We'll try.
And with that, fate fades away.